There's a lot of new content packed into the August update for Splatoon, including 2 entirely new weapon classes and a redesigned Urchin Underpass. Yeah, it's a lot to take in, so we've put together 5 quick tips to make sure you're ahead of the game when you try out the update for yourself. Tip number 1. Have you ever been on the verge of taking out an opponent, only to have them take cover behind a wall or a barrier? It's annoying, right? I mean, you are so close! Well, that safety net ends today with a new Slosher weapon. This glorified bucket packs a punch, launching a ton of ink at a trajectory high enough to clear barriers and even some walls, meaning it can even take down people hiding behind them. So, instead of chasing an enemy around a structure, try firing over it instead. Of course, the action goes both ways, so be careful they have a Slosher too. But as it turns out, the Slosher is actually useful for much more than just enemies. Tip number 2. Because the Sloshers are actually good for completing mission objectives too. Okay, so I'm sure most of you are familiar with a war zone that can be Splat Zones, and that's because there's a ton of ink flying around a concentrated area. But with a Slosher, you can actually target a Splat Zone from behind some relatively safe positions. Take the newly redesigned Urchin Underpass for example, which now features these high barricades bordering the Splat Zone, which as it turns out are perfect for hiding behind while using the Slosher to cover the Splat Zone in ink. So be on the lookout for similar areas in the other maps too. Tip number 3. So as you may already know, the Heavy Splatling fires only after being charged, and the more you charge it, the longer it'll fire for. As you can see here, at full charge, it can last long enough to take down 3 enemies in one go, at least in optimal conditions. But because it takes so long to charge, you don't want to be caught off guard by an opponent, so be prepared and keep it at full charge as often as possible. That way you're ready to go whenever an enemy appears. But keep in mind that turning into a squid will reset the charge, so be careful. But in case you do get caught off guard while mid-charge, don't be afraid to unleash whatever you have. It might still be enough to do the trick. Tip number 4. If you're using the Heavy Splatling, take a page from Obi-Wan's book and get to the high ground. Because this weapon has such a seriously insane range, firing from high up will allow you to cover or hold down a large amount of territory with relative ease. So some good locations to do this in are the High Perches and Salt Spray Rig, or the Central Tower in Black Belly Skate Park. And it's not only good for covering turf, but it's equally effective at taking down distant opponents before they get close enough to pose a real danger. Unless they have a Heavy Splatling as well, of course. Tip number 5. But even if your opponent has a Heavy Splatling too, don't panic, because it just so happens that the Heavy Splatling secondary is a splash wall, which as you probably already know, is a shield that you can shoot through. Yeah, it's nothing new in and of itself, but its ability to protect you, combined with the Heavy Splatling's insane range, makes this an extremely dangerous weapon to go up against, so keep it in mind. Alright guys, there you have it. Hopefully this quick tips will get you up to speed for the new content. Thanks for watching, and of course stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Splatoon and other things gaming too.